Hello goat lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats, and today we are 6 days away from our first due date. So I thought it'd be fun to get all 20 pregnant does and let you guys guess how many babies they're pregnant with. So right now we have Lodi here. She is first up. Lodi, she is due on March 10th. She doesn't look too big. She's got a little bit of an udder, and this is gonna be her first time having babies. So I wanna see you guys get a look at the back end, see how wide she looks. Keep in mind she's super deep bodied also, so she could hide babies in there. My guess is Lodi has just one. All right, next up is Maybelline. Now Maybelline's due date is February 27th, and this is gonna be her first kidding. Now she's looking pretty wide, and you know, she's just about a week out from actually her due date, so she's got a really nice udder. She's really kind of deep bodied for her age as well, so I don't know guys. I'm hoping for 2, and I think potentially 2, but leaning more towards 1. But I don't know, so I'm gonna have to choose one, so I'm gonna say 1 for Miss Maybelline. Up next, we have Lillie here. Her due date is February 27th. Now, she has kidded 2 times. Her first, she just had a single, little Miss Lodi, and last year she gave us twins. So this girl, also super deep-bodied, and her udder is coming in very nicely, and she's really wide. I don't know with this one. This one, I'm like, probably 2, but potentially 3. But her due date is it's pretty soon, so I'm gonna go with 2 for Lillie. Yeah. Now this pretty girl, Mayo here, her due date is March 2nd. She's kidded 2 times, and both were, she gave twins both times. So, her being a 3-year-old, she's also getting pretty deep-bodied. But her udder's coming in pretty nice. Let's see if she'll let me show you. And she's looking pretty wide. I'm gonna go with she only has 2 again though. I'm pretty sure she's got 2. All right, this here is Elsa. Now Elsa's due date is February 26th. She has kidded 3 times, and all 3 times she gave triplets. She is mighty wide. I will say last year I thought maybe she was gonna be the first set of 5 kids we ever had, but she only had triplets, so I don't know guys. Look at how wide she is. Oof. You can see that. I'm gonna go with triplets again, just because she really I thought she was gonna have more last year and she only had triplets, and that is kind of her theme. There's a good chance it could be 4, but I'm calling 3 on this one. Alright, so now this pretty girl here is Cami. Now this is going to be, or she's kidded 4 times, so this will be her 5th. Her first 2 kiddings she had quads, and then her 3rd kidding she had triplets, and then last year on her 4th kidding she had twins. So what the heck, right? But she's looking pretty wide again this year, so I think, let's see. Come here, girl. You guys can see how wide she is. I'm calling triplets on it this year. All right, and this girl is Miss Abilene. Miss Abilene's due date is March 2nd, and she has only kidded for us 1 time, which was last year. So she's really developed a lot this year through this kidding. Now she's 2 years old, and she's pretty wide and deep-bodied as well, so I'm gonna go with, like last year I did not think she had twins. I was almost positive she just had a single, but I'm gonna go twins again this year. Huh. Up next is pretty little Val. Now she is due on March 1st, and she's only kidded 1 time with quads, so that was last year. She's looking mighty wide. Let's see if she'll let me show you the back angle. It's all right, girl. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, so she, again, okay, that's all you guys are gonna get, sorry. But she's looking pretty wide. I hope you guys got a chance to see that. So She had quads last year, and I thought she only had one in there. She was not very big at all, and this year she's looking much, much healthier with this pregnancy. But I don't know that I would say there's quads. But again, last year she had quads and looked like it was a single. Just because of that, I'm gonna call triplets. I'm gonna say triplets. Calm down, girl, it's okay. All right, so this girl here, this is Schillie. Her due date is March 1st. She has kidded 2 times, and both times she has given us twins. Now, this girl here is looking mighty wide. She doesn't have like a huge, huge udder yet. Let's see, girl. Oof. Let's see, I just want you guys to see how wide she is. Now again, her udder isn't real big or anything yet. She's not like super over chunky. I'm thinking this girl might have triplets this time, so fingers crossed. All right, this here is Miss Roxy. She is due on March 2nd. Now, she only has 1 kidding on record, so just 1 doe that has been registered under her. I suspect that she's probably had more kiddings than that, but I don't really have any more knowledge as far as that is concerned. The width of her is pretty wide, guys. She's looking like she's got a very beautiful udder that she's gonna have. Let's see. Oof. If you guys can see how wide she is, she's just looking really pretty, and she's very deep bodied. I'm gonna say at least 2, and I might lean more towards 3. So for Roxy, I'm gonna say 3. All right, and this is beautiful Dawn. Now Dawn's due date is March 6th. She likes to extend it out as long as possible beyond that due date. But she has kidded 5 times. She has had twins once, triplets 3 times, and quads once. And she's looking giant. Let's see, Dawn doesn't want me messing with her. She's a little grouchy. So, I mean, she is a big wide doe. I don't know. She could potentially have quads, so I think I'm gonna go triplets, potentially quads, but I think I'm gonna call triplets with Dawn. Okay, now we have Cassie. Her due date is February 28th. She has kidded twice. Her first kidding, she had twins, and last year, her second kidding, she had a single. Her udder is looking pretty good, actually. It's coming in nice. She's not super wide. I can see the babies moving right now. That's awesome. But anyway, sorry. She's not super wide, but she's pretty deep bodied, and I think I'm just gonna, because how nice her udder's looking and kind of full, I'm gonna go with 2 this year for Cassie. Okay, here is Miss Dreamer. Now she's the first one, the first due date for us this year. Her due date is February 25th. She has not kidded before. This is gonna be her first time. Let's see, girl, you wanna show your back end? Probably not. Okay, so she's got a really lovely udder coming in, and she has for a while actually. So that's kind of cool for a first freshener. It might get pretty big her first time around. She's looking deepish, but like honestly, she doesn't seem super wide. It's like she is sinking a little or dropping a little, so she's not as wide as she did look just a week ago. But I'm gonna call 1 on this girl. I'm thinking she just has 1. Okay, so here is Tanzi. Now Tanzi is due February 28th, and she only has 1 kidding on record, and it was at least 2, so she at least had twins. Let's see, be good girl. She is looking pretty wide, but she's also a little chunky. So, and her udder seems to be coming in pretty good, but she is due here pretty soon. At least doubles. She's super deep bodied too, so it's hard with these ones that you don't really know the background too much to as far as their kiddings. But I don't know if I want to say twins or triplets, to be honest. I'll just say twins. This here is Little Bit. Her due date is March 3rd. Now she's had 5 kiddings. She's had a single once. She's had twins 3 times, and last year she gave us her first set of triplets. So she's another, out of lacy lines, but she's another deep-bodied doe. So she can hide things pretty easily. Her udder isn't really developed much for her due date being on March 3rd. Usually she has more of an udder by now, but that really doesn't mean anything. Every kidding can be different. Every doe is different with that. But she's just like, her belly's almost dragging to the ground. She's not as wide as she was last year, but it's almost like her belly's much deeper than it was last year. So I'm just gonna go triplets this year again. All right, this is our champion May. Her due date is March 4th. She has had 7 kiddings. 2 times she's given us a single, and 5 times she's given us twins. So, a couple years ago she gave us a single, and I swore she was way too wide to just have one in there, but that's all she gave us. Let's see, May. Let's show them. Okay, so she's not super wide. Sometimes I look at her and it's like she looks a lot more wide than I'm looking at her right now. But you see her walking away and you're like, ooh, maybe she's got twins in there. Typically she gives twins, so with May I'm just gonna go with twins again this year. Now we have Becky. Becky's due date is March 6th. Her previous owner did mention that last year was her 2nd kidding and she had twins, but I'm not real sure about the first kidding how many she had. She's looking super wide. I hope she lets me show you guys. Real slow. It's all right, girl. Ugh. Okay. All right. So, oh, Becky, just be good for a second. Ugh. Okay. She is looking really wide and deep. I'm thinking, and look at her udder, guys. So I'm thinking at least 3 in here for Becky. I'm calling 3. All right, now this here is Sky, or Big Montana. Her due date is March 3rd. She has had 7 kiddings. She's giving us a single 2 times, twins 4 times, and triplets just once. So Big Montana is Big Montana. She is chunk. She is overweight. So she's always looking pretty wide. And I will say there's still no udder development at all. So I don't know, guys. I'm just wondering. It's kind of weird that there's no udder development. Come on, girl, so that they can see you. She's harder to get to do. Okay, all right. There's still no udder development, and because of that, I'm kind of like, oof. But I would say if she's got anything in here, you guys, it's probably 1. She was super wide like this last year, and she just had a single. So yeah, if she took this year, I'm gonna call 1 for Sky. All right, this here is Maddie. Her due date is March 3rd. Now she's kidded 4 times. She's given us a single twice, twins once, and last year she gave us triplets on her 4th kidding. Another deep body doe, and her udder is kind of coming in pretty good. So I don't know. She's about the same size as she was last year. She really wasn't much bigger last year or anything as far as her width. But looking at her udder, she's either chock full of boys or potentially she's carrying triplets again. So I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm gonna say she's got triplets in there again. All right, and last up, goat number 20. This is Ruby. Her due date is March 10th. So she has never kidded before. This is gonna be her first time, and she's looking pretty big. She's already got a little bit of a baby bump. Let's see. She's one of the crazies, so hoping she'll let me just show you. But she's looking pretty darn wide, I'd say. Her udder's not real big, but she's our first freshener, so in a lot of cases, that's just kind of how that goes. But I'm calling twins on Ruby. So our last video I actually had said that we have 3 first fresheners, so I mentioned Dreamer, Maybelline, and Lodi, but I forgot to mention Miss Ruby is also a first freshener, so technically we have 4 first fresheners this year. Alright guys, so those are all my guesses for this year's kidding. Let us know what your guesses are in the comments below, and we'll see you again soon.